Welcome to the Restricted Handling Daily Intel Brief. This is what's been going on in Iran and the Middle East in the past 24 hours. Iran continues to leverage Lebanon as a key bargaining chip in its ongoing negotiations with the U.S. Over the past few days, Tehran has paused direct communication, sending messages focused primarily on Lebanon. This is not a new strategy, but today the emphasis is on using Lebanon to protect Hezbollah and reinforce Iran's regional posture. By holding the Lebanese front as a precondition, Iran is buying time to maintain influence over southern Lebanon and consolidate its control over the Strait of Hormuz, keeping pressure on Washington while shielding its nuclear program. The U.S. continues to demand that Iran reopen the Strait of Hormuz and commit to long-term restrictions on its nuclear capabilities before any easing of sanctions. The message from Washington is firm. Reopening shipping lanes alone won't trigger relief. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also noted that Iran retains most of its pre-war missile and drone stockpiles, highlighting that despite previous strikes, Tehran's strategic military capacity remains largely intact. President Trump again intervened directly in Israel's operational planning in Lebanon. Netanyahu had ordered strikes on Hezbollah positions in Beirut, but after a phone call with Trump, Israel pulled back from hitting the city directly. The new arrangement is a partial one. Israel will avoid striking Beirut and southern suburbs, while Hezbollah will pause attacks on northern Israel. It's an update on the situation we've been following. The framework remains fragile, and southern Lebanon continues to see active operations. Katz, Israel's defense minister, has made it clear that Israeli forces will maintain activity in the south if Hezbollah remains offensive. Hezbollah has reiterated that a full ceasefire across Lebanon is a prerequisite for any Israeli withdrawal, but no commitment has been made on halting strikes into Israel. Political pressures on Netanyahu in Israel remain high. Domestic critics are framing the U.S. intervention as overreach, claiming it undermines Israeli sovereignty. Netanyahu faces the dual challenge of demonstrating effectiveness against Hezbollah while managing an upcoming election and a corruption trial. Even with superior firepower, the strategic reality remains. Fully neutralizing Hezbollah is extremely difficult. Civilian displacement and infrastructure damage in southern Lebanon continue, adding another layer of complexity to Israel's operational calculus. Iran and its proxies are reinforcing their strategic messaging. IRGC commanders have publicly warned that escalation in Lebanon could trigger attacks on northern Israel, and they've signaled that the Bab el-Mandeb Strait could be used as leverage. Houthi allies also remain on alert. These messages are designed to pressure the U.S. to restrain Israeli operations and to ensure that Lebanon stays central to Iran's negotiating strategy. Today's update underscores that this messaging is increasingly coordinated to shape U.S. perceptions and calculations. The Gulf theater is also seeing heightened activity. U.S. forces disabled a tanker attempting to reach Iran's Karg Island, prompting Iranian retaliatory drone and missile strikes targeting regional bases and commercial aviation facilities. Kuwait reported injuries at its airport, temporarily suspending operations, while CENTCOM reported successful interceptions and denied Iranian claims of striking the Fifth Fleet. These exchanges demonstrate the persistent strategic signaling. Iran can disrupt shipping and pressure regional actors, while the U.S. shows it can defend key maritime choke points without fully escalating conflict. Maritime control remains a central strategic pressure point. Iran struck the MSC-owned Sariska Vive as it departed Qasr in Iraq, claiming it was retaliation for U.S. actions in the Gulf of Oman. The U.S. has disabled 6 ships since April and redirected over 120 others, maintaining pressure on Iranian revenue streams. Tehran is also institutionalizing a form of smart control in the Strait of Hormuz, selectively allowing passage and enforcing compliance, which continues to shape energy markets and global oil flows. Financial pressure on Iran is intensifying as well. The U.S. Treasury sanctioned Iran's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Nobitex, for allegedly facilitating IRGC and government sanctions evasion. The action included key owners and executives. Nobitex denied knowingly supporting illicit flows. These financial measures are designed to close off Tehran's alternative mechanisms for moving funds abroad and sustaining proxy networks. Iraq is a crucial element of Iran's regional leverage. The Shia Coordination Framework announced support for restricting weapons to the state and separating PMF militias from political influence. Asaib al-Haq and Kataib al-Imam Ali have formed internal committees to inventory personnel and assets, likely in response to U.S. pressure rather than signaling full demilitarization. Hardline groups like Kataib Hezbollah remain resistant, and Iranian commander Esmail Ghani has reportedly guided selective pauses in kinetic activity while consolidating political influence, ensuring Iran retains operational flexibility in case negotiations falter. Inside Iran, leadership and nuclear site management are also evolving. Authorities announced a 3-day funeral for former Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, preparing for massive public ceremonies in Tehran, Qom, and Mashhad. Mojtaba Khamenei, the new leader, remains largely unseen, but is reportedly engaging through a council that includes IRGC and regime officials. Meanwhile, Iran has fortified the Fordo fuel enrichment plant, creating obstacles while maintaining controlled access for its nuclear program, preparing for any potential U.S. intervention. Civilian aviation in Lebanon is under new scrutiny. Lebanon's aviation regulator has launched a safety audit of Middle East airlines after pilot groups reported being asked to operate near airstrikes and facing penalties for reporting safety concerns. MEA maintains that all operations are based on risk assessments conducted with authorities. This is an important operational note. Flights in Lebanon now navigate a war zone with both security and economic consequences, highlighting how conflict and infrastructure interact in real time. Thanks for listening and helping grow this community. If you're getting value from the show, a quick review or comment helps surface it to others who care about this space. For deeper coverage, we publish a daily intel brief on Substack, restrictedhandling.substack.com, where we expand on Russia and China and provide additional insights on Iran, the Middle East, and the DPRK. Appreciate you. Have a great day.